is that guided by altruistic motives? We quite see everybody doesn't donate, with as a kickback, not at all.
Therefore, my lord, kindly, my lord,
And
do
we
not
also
see
have
this.
companies. We also have companies. All companies cannot be tarred with the same brush in India. You have corporate sector which has contributed to the productive assets of the nation.
But
We are
look,
not.
they have
We are not at all saying that our
contributed
corporate
to
sector
the
is therefore
development
tainted.
of the
You
nation.
shouldn't make that assumption.
Well, only a minute, Mr. Sibal. There was something personal, not. It was not a fun or humor. my lord. Out of concern, I asked something, which I'll right now not share.
That's all right.
We had some concerns. I said, go to my chamber. That's all. Lord, so the idea was that instead of either shell company or paying by cash, let the clean money come into the system. And my lord, clean money has come into the system. Second, whether we like it or not, my lord, industrial houses, commercial houses, corporations, companies, they have, my lord, immensely helped, my lord, in the development of the nation. And now, my lord, as I have shown,
That's what I just said, that we don't
so
start with the
everyone, my
assumption
lord,
that our
does
corporate
not pay
sector
by
is
kickbacks
tainted.
to my lord, believe that they need electoral bonds to be used or any other factor to be used to influence the decision making would be, my lord, shutting an eye on the reality. Without that also, my lord, that can be done. And possibly practically, despite, my lord, this white channel being available, both channels might be used by some companies which are, my lord, not kind of good companies. But good companies, my lord, do decide to donate based upon their experience, whether in this regime of the political government, my investment is safe or not. Whether the country is going forward or going backward. Whether I am.
All right, Mr. Solicitor, we now understand this.
But
can we do this to sort of to carry the dialogue further? Should we go straight to the scheme? Because we'd like to hear you on the scheme.
Page 25.
Let's have a look at the scheme
Page
so that
25.
your argument on the scheme will be of value to us. This we have now seen that
Because your
you
lordships
made your
have-
point, no doubt about it.
Lord, kindly, your lordships have the challenge to a provision which gives away or does away with the cap. Lord, I have given my answer for your lordships to. Lord, I think I am clear.
Yes, of course.
Now, my lord, the scheme. See the definition, my lord. And my lord, please read, my lord, as if it is for a bona fide reason and not to encourage or legitimize kickbacks. Please examine that. There may be 10% out of 100 where kickback is provided. Kickback can be the motive of the donor. Electoral bond means a bond issued in the nature of promissory note, which shall be a bearer banking instrument and shall not carry the name of the buyer or payee. Lord, I have already explained why this confidentiality. So I will not read the second part, the second column is the object behind it. My lord, object I have sufficiently attempted to explain and therefore I will not repeat it. Please see, my lord, authorized bank. My lord, this is the entire policy reproduced verbatim. I have not missed anything. So your lordships can read either from the policy or from here, but here it would be more convenient because I have given my object of each clause.
Correct. You're right.
But there is no part of the policy is missed, my lord, in reproduction. Authorized bank means the State Bank of India authorized to issue and encash the bonds in the branches specified in Annexure 1 to this notification. My lord, we had options, my lord, of public sector banks and private banks. Obviously, we cannot choose private banks. In public sector banks, the largest bank with largest presence in the country is State Bank of India. Therefore, State Bank of India. There is a specific, my lord, exclusion of private banks in the FAQs. They don't use private banks for this channel. Because let it remain in one particular bank which can be trusted. And your lordships would not, my lord, kindly, my lord, bear with me, not trust institutions. And I'm going to show to your lordships that there is any deviation. If anyone tries to breach into the confidentiality, it leaves its footprints and will not go unpunished. My lord, I as a law officer, spoke to the chairman of the State Bank of India. And I have his letter signed by him saying three things. A, except the contingency contemplated under section 7.4, that is the court's order, nobody can get. Well, I might even read, my lord, the later, my lord, so that your lordship conscience is satisfied. That even ruling party will not know. Lord, if I can share, it's a 3-paragraph, 1-page later, my lord. Just to satisfy your lordship's conscience that the scheme does not allow or permit even ruling party to know about, even the government to know about. The central government as a body, my lord, not forget the ruling party in the government. Central government would not know. Lord, this is a letter addressed to me. Or may I read? In response to the queries of the Solicitor General, we submit our response as under. The State Bank of India has a foolproof mechanism for maintaining complete secrecy of details of purchaser of the electoral bond and also the political party which deposits such electoral bond. This information cannot be shared with anyone, including the central government. In the eventuality contemplated under clause 7.4, there is a scientific system available whereby this confidentiality can be decoded by a process and be placed before the competent authority or court under clause 7.4 of the scheme. It will not be in the interest of the scheme to put it in public. The mechanism which will be used while decoding information for being provided as required under clause 7.4 of the scheme. Now, my lord, the largest public sector bank is before the highest court of the country, signed by the chairman of that bank saying that this cannot be shared even with the central government. And we have a mechanism in place that nobody can breach it. So, my lord, the point I am respectfully making is that we have to trust institutions that they will go by the law. My lord, if there is any deviation, I have a suggestion, my lord, which I will make at an appropriate stage when I come to that part of the scheme. Now, my lord, C is issuing branch. Issuing branch means a designated branch of the authorized bank specified in Annexure 1 for issuing electoral bonds. My lord, everywhere it cannot be purchased and everywhere it cannot be deposited. My lord, what happens is, my lord, why this? The donor and donee both must have a designated account in a designated branch. Why, my lord? I'll just very candidly and very bluntly point out, my lord, what can happen. My lord, I purchase a bond of 1 crore of rupees. I'm sorry, my lord, your lordship, sir. I purchase a bond of 1 crore of rupees. I give it to a political party. They don't wish to show it in their return at all. What they can do is, they can go to one small cooperative bank in Trichur or some corner of Gujarat or some corner of Lord Maharashtra, deposit it, withdraw in cash, and nobody would come to know. To avoid this, we have said that every political party will have one designated account. Only there it can be deposited, and that would be in one of the 29 designated branches. And it is so ensured that each branch is there in each state, broadly. Then, my lord, D. Person includes an individual, a Hindu undivided family, a company, a firm, association of persons, or body of individuals, whether incorporated or not, every artificial juridical person not falling within any of the preceding subclauses, and any agency, office, or branch owned or controlled by such person. My lord, petitioners have confined their arguments essentially to companies, but this includes all. And my lord, there are several donors from experience, my lord, when I discuss, who donate on individual basis. Lord, there are several conventional businesses like transport business, like contractors business, where they are individuals who do the business. They don't form any kind of formal company or Hindu undivided family or a partnership firm. Then third, eligibility for purchase and encashment of electoral bond. The bond under this scheme may be purchased by a person who is a citizen of India or incorporated or established in India. Lord, I am keeping Lord FCR apart separately. That's not something which is argued. Your lordships have very consciously, my lord, by judicial order detailed. A person being an individual can buy bonds either singly or jointly with other individuals. Only the political parties registered under section 29A of the Representation of People Act and secured not less than 1% of votes polled in the last general election to the House of People or Legislative Assembly, as the case may be, shall be eligible to receive the bond. The bond shall be encashed by an eligible political party only through a bank account with the authorized bank. There would be a designated account out of these 29 designated branches. Lord, the objection was that why this 1% limit? And there is a simple reason. Earlier, when exemption was given to political parties, there were some mushrooming of political parties, fake parties, just to get exemption. Therefore, 1% presence would mean you are a serious political party, and 1% is not something unrealistically high. And it can be even in parliamentary election or in any of the assembly elections. So just to ensure that there are no fake parties which are created to get benefit of this. Then 4, applicability of know your customer norms. The extant instructions issued by Reserve Bank of India regarding know your customer norms of a bank's customer shall apply for buyers of the bonds. The authorized bank may call for any additional know your customer documents if it is deemed necessary. Now why this? Apart from the obvious reason that there cannot be any anonymous purchase. I cannot go and say that I will not give my name, but give me the electoral bond.